Hey, as I've been getting ready to launch this podcast, I've been asking everybody that I can, what is their number one struggle with getting to a wardrobe that feels like themselves? Themselves? Their self? I don't know. Anyway, well, over half of the people have said something like finding clothes that fit and flatter my body. And friend, it's not getting any easier. We have to get more strategic. Discovering your style DNA covers three arenas. The D in DNA is your body's design, your physical form. Today, I've got two shopping strategies and a hack for working with your body's design. So I've always been on a budget. Even though now I give myself what I think is a really reasonable amount of money to spend on clothes. After all, it is my job. I still habitually think like a person on a fairly restrictive budget. So this first strategy, I'm talking to me too. So the first strategy in shopping that I'm going to recommend is to just choose a handful, and by that I mean maybe 3 or 4, of favorite stores that you like, where you would shop if money were no object, but not like high end, but just like where you think you would like to be able to shop if it was reasonable. Because usually it is kind of reasonable. We just don't always think it is. Um, and just get to know their sizing. If you're plus size, pick like Torrid or somewhere that carries those sizes, and just don't worry about going to places like department stores and places that have all the stuff. That is my recommendation on that. And here's a bonus. Usually in jeans, you're going to need to size up one. So if you wear, a 10 in regular pants, you're going to want a 12 in jeans, and then kind of across the spectrum. So yeah, I think it's useful to get to know the brands of a few places that are places that you're likely to find things that you like. Okay, so the second shopping strategy is to learn to eyeball estimate or carry a tape measure with you and know your pinch points. So what I mean by this is, remember not that long ago when all the stores didn't have fitting rooms open? I actually was able to, kind of by looking, and also as pickier, admit it, tell if a pair of pants was going to fit me. The other thing you can do is, what I mean by carrying a tape measure and knowing your pinch points is, like, if you're like me and you have what we call athletic calves, when pants are skinny, you can tell with the tape measure if that's going to fit you. So just try carrying a tape measure and measuring those few places, or there's tricks where you can, measure something on another part of your body to be able to see if it's going to, there's something about it going around your neck, or, maybe it's as long as your arm or something like that. Okay, so that's my second shopping strategy. The third thing that I want you to focus on as far as being able to really find clothes that fit and flatter is knowing your silhouette. And if you come into my Signature Style University, I tell you right up front in the first style guide what your silhouette is and what your best styles are. But there is a workaround. So if you can't find your silhouette among the hundreds that are going around on the internet, it seems like, here's what you can do. You can choose styles that fit where you're small and flow where you're large. Some examples of this would be, if you're generally wide, but you have a narrow waist, choose something like a peplum style or a belted style, something that shows the waist. And this seems too obvious, but it's really profound. It really works. If you are a triangle, which is like narrower at the shoulders and wider at the hips and thighs, choose like the swing styles that are so fun, and people that can't wear them look at them and think they're super fun, but they can't wear them. So something that's fitted in the shoulders and then flows over the rest of you. Another example is someone who would be what I would call an oval, maybe is a little bit more wider through the midriff and narrow at the shoulders, narrow at the thighs. This is who's made for those like long tunics and leggings looks, and that are really hard for some of the rest of us to pull off. So yeah, so those are some examples that I hope might be helpful. And here's your homework. Think about some of your all-time favorite outfits, like through your life. Was there a time in style history when the styles that were popular really worked well for you? Where were they fitted and where did they flow? And then think about what styles have been hard for you. The same thing. It might have nothing to do with you, but everything to do with the style just isn't right for you. So thank you so much for being here for the Signature Style Systems podcast. And I will be back soon with an episode about the N in Style DNA. Until then, happy thinking.